Welcome to the Channel Your Health. Today we're going to talk about a topic that can literally change your relationship with food: how to put together a healthy, balanced meal. Many people still think that eating well is complicated, that it requires a lot of money, or that it's something restricted only to those following a strict diet full of difficult rules. But the truth is that putting together a nutritious, balanced meal can be much simpler and more enjoyable than it seems. When we talk about health, we often think of medicine, treatments, or even physical exercise. But the basis of everything lies in what we put on our plates every day. After all, we eat several times throughout our lives, and each meal is an opportunity to give our bodies exactly what they need to function well. Eating isn't just about satisfying hunger. It's about providing fuel for energy, concentration, and stamina, strengthening the immune system, and even improving mood. A poorly prepared meal can cause exactly the opposite: fatigue, difficulty concentrating, weight gain, long-term health problems, and even emotional swings. This happens because food has a direct impact on the body and mind. On the other hand, a balanced meal helps maintain an active metabolism, gives you more energy to face the day, improves sleep quality, and even prevents disease. The amazing thing is that creating a balanced meal doesn't mean sacrificing flavor or living on bland salads. Quite the opposite. The more colorful, varied, and nutritious the dish, the more enjoyable it will be to eat. There's no rigid formula here, but rather basic principles that you can adapt to your routine, your taste, and even your budget. The important thing is to be aware that each food group has its function, and that all of them, together, form the foundation of our health. So, if you've ever wondered how to have more energy without relying on coffee, how to avoid that hunger that appears right after eating, or how to take care of your health in a practical way on a daily basis, stay with me until the end, because I'll show you how to put together a healthy, balanced dish that really works in practice. The importance of a balanced plate. When we talk about a balanced diet, we're not talking about fads or following the latest diet, but rather something much deeper: giving your body what it truly needs to function well. Think of your body as a sophisticated machine. If you give it the wrong fuel, it might work for a while, but it will wear out faster, lose performance, and experience failures. A balanced diet is precisely the right fuel to keep our body and mind in peak condition. A balanced meal helps maintain consistent energy levels throughout the day. Who hasn't felt that energy spike right after eating, and then, an hour later, extreme fatigue or a craving for sweets? This happens when a meal doesn't have the right balance of nutrients. For example, a meal filled only with simple carbohydrates, such as white bread, refined rice, or regular pasta, generates a quick spike in blood sugar, but then a sudden drop, bringing on feelings of sluggishness and premature hunger. A balanced meal, with fiber, protein, and healthy fats, keeps energy levels stable, avoiding these peaks and valleys. Another key point is that each food group plays a unique role in the body. Carbohydrates are the primary source of energy. Proteins help build and repair muscles, cells, and tissues. Good fats feed the brain and protect the heart. Fiber regulates the intestines and helps control satiety, and vitamins and minerals participate in virtually every chemical reaction that occurs in the body. If any of these groups are frequently lacking, sooner or later, the body will feel the consequences. A balanced diet also helps prevent disease. When you include a variety of vegetables, fresh fruits, whole grains, and lean proteins in your routine, you strengthen your immune system and reduce the risk of problems like diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, and even neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. What's more, this balance also improves mental health, as nutrients like magnesium, B vitamins, and omega-3s directly influence mood, memory, and concentration. But the benefits aren't just felt in the long term. In your daily life, you immediately feel the difference: improved mood, easier digestion, a clearer mind, and more beautiful skin and hair. Food, after all, isn't just fuel. It's also information. It communicates with our cells and determines whether the body will work for or against our health. Therefore, creating a balanced meal shouldn't be seen as restrictive or complicated, but as an act of self-care. It's a conscious choice to look at what you eat and ask yourself, is this nourishing me or just satisfying my hunger for a few minutes? When you understand this difference, it becomes much easier to adopt habits that will improve your quality of life in the long run. So, the importance of a balanced diet lies precisely in this: ensuring you have consistent energy, that your body receives all the necessary nutrients, that your health is preserved, and that you feel truly good. Eating well isn't about aesthetics, it's about living better, with the energy and health to enjoy every moment of life. The role of healthy carbohydrates. When we talk about carbohydrates, many people turn up their noses, as if they were the ultimate dietary villain. This is because, in recent years, many diets have emerged that demonize carbohydrates, placing them as the main culprits for weight gain or lack of energy. But the truth is that carbohydrates are fundamental to our lives, and the secret lies in choosing the right types and in the right amounts. Carbohydrates are the main source of energy for our bodies and brains. Imagine that the body needs constant fuel to perform all its functions, from the simplest, like breathing, to the most complex, like thinking, concentrating, and moving. Carbohydrates directly provide this fuel. When we consume the right amount, they are converted into glucose in a balanced way, keeping energy levels stable throughout the day. The problem lies with simple, refined carbohydrates, such as white bread, crackers, soda, artificial juices, pasta, and sweets in general. These foods are absorbed very quickly by the body, causing a spike in blood sugar. This generates an immediate but fleeting energy boost. Soon after, glucose levels drop sharply, and the person experiences that famous yo-yo effect. First a spike in energy, followed by fatigue, drowsiness, and early hunger. It's this cycle that leads many people to believe that carbohydrates make you sleepy or make you gain weight, when in fact, the problem lies in the type and the excess. On the other hand, we have healthy complex carbohydrates, which are rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals. They are digested more slowly and release energy gradually, keeping the body active for longer and avoiding those ups and downs in mood and energy. Some excellent examples are brown rice, sweet potatoes, cassava, yams, oats, quinoa, lentils, beans, chickpeas, and fresh fruit. These foods not only provide quality energy but also nourish the gut with fiber and nutrients that support overall health. It's important to understand that healthy carbohydrates also play a fundamental role in the brain. Our brain consumes about 20% of the body's total energy, and the main source of this fuel is glucose from carbohydrates. This means that completely cutting out carbohydrates can lead to poor concentration, impaired reasoning, and even mood swings. Another detail is that good carbohydrates help balance the other food groups. When you assemble a dish with brown rice, beans, and a protein source like chicken or fish, for example, you're providing a perfect combination: energy from carbohydrates, cellular building and repair from protein, and lasting satiety thanks to fiber and good fats. This combination is what makes a truly complete meal. It's also important to monitor the quantity. Eating healthy carbohydrates doesn't mean overdoing it, but rather giving your body enough to sustain daily activities. A good practical tip is to fill about a quarter of your plate with complex carbohydrates, varying between different types throughout the week. This ensures nutrient diversity and prevents dietary monotony. Therefore, carbohydrates are not the enemy, but rather the ally of health. What makes the difference is the quality of the choice. If you swap white bread for tapioca with chia, regular rice for brown rice, or a processed snack for a baked sweet potato, you'll quickly notice a huge improvement in your energy, disposition, and even your mood. Ultimately, healthy carbohydrates are the clean, efficient fuel that keeps the body's machinery running smoothly. Without them, energy is lacking. In excess, the body suffers, but with balance, they become the foundation of an active and healthy life. The importance of proteins. When we talk about creating a healthy and balanced meal, we can't overlook proteins, which are one of the pillars of a balanced diet. If carbohydrates are the body's main source of energy, proteins are its building blocks. They're like the bricks and mortar that hold our structure together. Without them, there's no growth, recovery, strength, or long-term health. Proteins have vital functions. They participate in the formation of muscles, bones, skin, hair, nails, hormones, and even antibodies, which strengthen the immune system. This means they're important not only for those who train or want to gain muscle mass, but for anyone of any age who wants to maintain a healthy, well-functioning body. Another essential role of protein is related to satiety. When you consume protein-rich foods, digestion is slower, which prolongs the feeling of fullness. This helps prevent snacking and hunger spikes, which are often responsible for poor choices, such as overindulging in sweets or fast food. That's why a balanced meal should always contain a protein source. It stabilizes the meal and makes energy last longer. Proteins can be of animal or plant origin. Animal sources include chicken, fish, lean beef, eggs, and white cheese. Plant-based sources, which are equally important, include beans, lentils, chickpeas, peas, soybeans, quinoa, and even some seeds, such as chia. Interestingly, by combining plant-based sources, you can create complete proteins rich in all essential amino acids. A classic example is the combination of rice and beans, so common on Brazilian plates. This combination is nutritious, tasty, and provides high-quality protein. Protein also plays a crucial role in the body's recovery. Think about anyone who engages in physical activity, whether it's walking, weight training, or any other exercise. Muscles suffer small, natural injuries during exertion. Protein helps repair these fibers and make them stronger. But this doesn't just happen during exercise. The entire body, daily, needs protein to regenerate tissues, heal wounds, renew cells, and maintain a healthy balance. It's important to remember that consuming too much protein isn't enough. Many people believe that the more protein, the better. But the truth is, the body can only use so much. The key is balance, including protein in all main meals, in adequate amounts. To give you an idea, on a healthy plate, the portion allocated to protein should take up approximately a quarter of the space. Another interesting detail is the issue of protein quality. It's not just about quantity, but also about choosing healthier options. Choose lean cuts of meat, avoid fried foods, choose lower-fat cheeses, and, whenever possible, vary the sources. This diversity ensures not only protein but also the various vitamins and minerals that come with food. Ultimately, proteins are like the building blocks of our bodies. Without them, we become more fragile, tired, vulnerable, and have more difficulty maintaining stable energy. When you add a good source of protein to your plate, you're taking care of your strength, your immunity, your satiety, and even your longevity. So, when putting together a healthy, balanced meal, never forget, carbohydrates are the fuel, but proteins are the structure that keeps everything together and functioning. Together, they form the foundation of an active, balanced life. The power of good fats. When we talk about fat in our diet, many people think of it as something negative, something that needs to be cut from our diet at all costs. But the truth is that not all fat is bad. There are so-called good fats, also known as healthy fats, which are essential for our bodies to function properly and are even essential for a balanced diet. These fats perform functions that often go unnoticed. They are a concentrated source of energy, helping the body stay energized throughout the day. Furthermore, they participate in the production of important hormones, are indispensable for the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, such as A, D, E, and K, and also play a vital role in protecting cells and the brain. Yes, the brain is one of the organs that benefits most from good fats, as much of it is composed of lipids. A well-known example is omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids found in foods such as cold water fish, flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, and extra virgin olive oil. These fats have anti-inflammatory effects on the body, help improve cardiovascular health, maintain sharp memory, and reduce the risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Another important point is that good fats also contribute to satiety. When you add a little olive oil to your salad, a handful of nuts as a snack, or half an avocado for breakfast, you feel fuller for longer. This prevents uncontrolled hunger pangs and even helps maintain a healthy weight. In other words, contrary to popular belief, including good fats in your diet can actually help maintain or even reduce body weight, precisely because it better controls your appetite. But of course, the key is quantity. Although healthy, fats are caloric, and excess can lead to weight gain. The idea is to use them in a balanced way, always focusing on quality. Swap butter or margarine for olive oil, avoid fried foods that saturate the fats, and always opt for natural options, such as seeds, nuts, fish, and avocado. When it comes to creating a healthy, balanced meal, the portion of good fats should be small but always present. It could be that spoonful of olive oil at lunch, a handful of nuts mid-afternoon, or even a few pumpkin or sunflower seeds sprinkled on your salad. Small details that make a big difference in long-term health. In short, good fats are like oil that lubricates the body's engine. Without them, the body grinds to a halt. Hormones don't function properly, energy levels drop, the brain loses efficiency, and even the heart becomes more vulnerable. But when you include them correctly, you gain more energy, focus, cardiovascular protection, and even greater beauty, since good fats also help maintain healthy skin and hair. So, don't be afraid of fats. Yes, be afraid of excess fats and the harmful versions like trans fats found in ultra-processed foods. But when it comes to good fats, you can add them to your plate with caution because they are powerful allies for your health and energy. Vegetables and fiber as the base of the dish. If there's one food group that should take up the majority of your plate, it's vegetables. And for good reason. They're rich in fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that the body needs daily to function at its full potential. It's no exaggeration to say that vegetables are the true foundation of a healthy, balanced diet. When you look at your plate, consider that half of it should be filled with different types of vegetables, especially dark greens like kale, spinach, broccoli, and arugula. These foods contain iron, calcium, magnesium, vitamin C, vitamin K, and many antioxidants that fight free radicals, helping protect your cells against premature aging and various diseases. In addition to greens, it's important to vary the colors. Carrots, beets, pumpkin, tomatoes, and peppers, for example, provide a veritable rainbow of nutrients that work together to strengthen the immune system, improve skin, give you more energy, and even protect your brain. But the star of vegetables is undoubtedly fiber. Fiber is that component we often don't see, but we feel its effects. It helps keep your intestines functioning well, regulates digestion, promotes satiety, and prevents you from overdoing it on other, more caloric foods. When we consume fiber, the body digests food more slowly, which avoids those dreaded blood glucose spikes. And this is essential not only for preventing diabetes, but also for maintaining consistent energy throughout the day, without those ups and downs. Another incredible point is that fiber feeds the good bacteria in our gut, the famous microbiota. And today, science has shown that a healthy gut directly influences not only digestion, but also mood, immunity, and even brain health. In other words, eating fiber-rich vegetables is a holistic way to care for your body, far beyond satiety. And how can you put this into practice? A colorful salad before the main meal is always a great start, but you can go further. Stir-fries of broccoli, cauliflower, or spinach, grilled zucchini and eggplant, roasted pumpkin with herbs, and even vegetable soups for dinner. All of these count as vegetables and help enrich the dish. The idea is to always vary as much as possible because each vegetable provides a different type of nutrient. We can't forget legumes, such as beans, lentils, and chickpeas, which, in addition to providing fiber, offer plant-based proteins and important minerals. They can perfectly complement this balance in your diet, further reinforcing the role of fiber and providing greater satiety. It's worth remembering, when we talk about fiber and vegetables, we're not just talking about physical health, but also about preventing chronic diseases. Several studies have shown that a diet rich in vegetables reduces the risk of hypertension, high cholesterol, heart problems, and even some types of cancer. It's as if each colorful bite is a natural dose of protection for the body. In short, when putting together a healthy and balanced meal, vegetables and fiber aren't just side effects, they're the foundation. They cleanse, nourish, regulate, energize, and even balance the body from the inside out. So, if half of your plate isn't already filled with colorful, fiber-rich vegetables, it's time to rethink that choice and start including them. After all, health begins with what you put on your table every day. Putting together your healthy plate in practice. Now that we understand the importance of nutrients and the role of healthy carbohydrates, proteins, good fats, vegetables, and fiber, the most anticipated moment has arrived: how to actually create a healthy, balanced diet for your daily routine. This is where theory becomes practice, and you'll realize that having a balanced diet isn't complicated. It's just a matter of organization, awareness, and habit. A healthy plate can be divided simply, but extremely effectively, Imagine your plate as a circle divided into sections. Half of it should be taken up by vegetables and fiber, whether raw, cooked, roasted, or sautéed. This is the foundation of the meal, providing vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and the satiety that prevents overeating. The more colorful this side of the plate, the better. The more colors, the more diverse nutrients you'll be providing your body. The other half of the plate will be divided into 2 equal parts, 1/4 for protein and 1/4 for healthy carbohydrates. Protein can come from lean meats, fish, eggs, or even plant-based options like lentils, tofu, or chickpeas. Healthy carbohydrates are those that release energy slowly and keep the body active for longer. Brown rice, sweet potatoes, cassava, quinoa, or oats, for example. And where do good fats fit in? They're like the seasoning for this balance. A spoonful of olive oil to dress your salad, a few slices of avocado, a handful of chia or flax seeds, or even some nuts as a side dish are enough to provide these nutrients without overdoing it. Want to see a practical example? Imagine lunch. Half a plate of colorful salad with lettuce, arugula, tomato, and grated carrot, a quarter with brown rice and beans, and the other quarter with grilled fish fillet. To top it off, a drizzle of olive oil on top and a piece of fruit for dessert. Simple, affordable, and extremely nutritious. Another example, for dinner, you could prepare half a plate of roasted broccoli, zucchini, and squash, a quarter of a shredded chicken breast or chickpeas, and a quarter of a cooked sweet potato. And to spice things up, you could enjoy chamomile or mint tea. And here's a valuable tip. Planning meals in advance avoids improvising, which almost always results in unhealthy choices. You don't need to prepare complex meals. Small habits, like keeping washed and cut vegetables in the fridge, cooking larger quantities of grains to use throughout the week, or always having fruit within sight, make the process much easier. Another important point is moderation. A healthy meal doesn't have to be perfect every day, but it should be balanced most of the time. If you ate something unusual at one meal, make up for it the next. The key is consistency, not rigidity. Furthermore, it's worth remembering that putting together a healthy meal doesn't just mean thinking about your physical body, but also about how you feel afterward. Eating a balanced diet boosts energy, improves mood, helps with concentration, and strengthens the immune system. It's as if each meal is a long-term investment in your health. So whenever you prepare a meal, remember this dish mental map. Half with vegetables and fiber, a room with quality protein, a room with healthy carbohydrates, and a moderate portion of good fats. If you adopt this simple framework into your daily life, you'll notice profound changes in your energy, body function, and even your relationship with food. It's not about a restrictive diet. It's about learning to nourish your body intelligently and enjoyably. We've reached the end of our video, and I hope you've realized how putting together a healthy, balanced meal can be simple, practical, and accessible for anyone. It's not about complicating your life with rigid rules or seemingly impossible diets. It's about balancing what's on your plate every day, understanding that each meal is an opportunity to take care of your health, your energy, and even your emotional well-being. Think of the meal you prepare today as the fuel that will determine how you'll feel tomorrow, more energetic, more focused, less tired, and even happier to face the day. Eating well isn't a luxury. It's an investment in yourself, your body, and your mind. And when you start to see the results, more energy, less discomfort, a better quality of life, it all becomes a positive cycle that only brings benefits. And best of all, you don't have to sacrifice flavor. A healthy dish can be delicious, colorful, and enjoyable. Just allow yourself to experiment, vary, and be creative. The secret isn't perfection, but consistency. So, I want to invite you to look at your next meal with fresh eyes. Before serving, ask yourself, is it balanced? Is half of it made up of vegetables? Did I choose good carbohydrates, quality protein, and healthy fat? This simple reflection can already transform your eating habits. And if you liked this content, don't forget, subscribe to the channel Hear Your Health, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone who also wants to learn how to better manage their diet. Together, we can spread more health, more energy, and a better quality of life. After all, taking care of your health is the best gift you can give yourself. See you in the next video.